Let's go over everything you need to know about Autopilot with your Tesla Model 3. Check this out. What's up guys, Marion from Camp to Freedom, and I absolutely love my Tesla Model 3. It is the best car that I've ever owned, and I absolutely love making videos about it, and it's been a blast. So if you are waiting for your Tesla Model 3 to come in, I really think that you should be prepared and learn everything you need to know about Autopilot. If you already own a Tesla Model 3, maybe there are some things that you didn't catch regarding Autopilot. So I kind of want to go everything that I personally know about Autopilot with you guys. And real quick, if you guys haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for it. And also, just real quickly, I wanted to share with you guys a Cybertruck t-shirt that I am selling. Link below. If you buy it from me, I appreciate it so much. All right, let's get back into it. So I'm gonna talk details with all the settings and take you out on the road to show you some demonstrations on how to use Autopilot. But I wanted to just quickly talk about how Autopilot is absolutely a game changer for me, right? Tesla tells you to try to use Autopilot as much as you can because it does a great job keeping you safe on the road. I personally feel so comfortable driving with Autopilot engaged than just kind of driving alone, right? When you're driving, you have to be 100% vigilant and you have to be 100% awake to feel safe on the road, right? But I mean, with my job, sometimes I'm working like 12, 13 hours and by end of the night, I'm super exhausted. So I know I'm not giving my 100% when I'm on the road, right? Which is kind of scary a little bit. So when I do have Autopilot engaged on that long freeway trip back home, I feel a lot more safe. There have been times where I'm just not really paying attention because my thoughts are all over the place. And all of a sudden there's a car in front of me that hit the brakes. Well, my car will just quickly engage the brakes and prevent itself from hitting the car. If something runs in front of your car, like an animal or a person or anything like that, your car will also come to a stop. Such a game changer. And also the best thing about it, it will drive right in the middle of the road between the two lines and it will just stay locked on. It's not going to move little to the left or little to the right. It's not even going to micro adjust like some of the other EV car does. It will just lock on between the two lines and you will never touch the lines, which is amazing because when I drive by myself, I actually touch those lines every once in a while. And you see it on the road too, right? Makes it look like as if they're drunk or something, and it kind of freaks you out a little bit. Anyways, let's go into details. First off, let's go over the setting of Autopilot inside your car. Click on the car icon and go to Autopilot. And the first thing you want to do is turn on Auto Steer Beta. By default, it's off, so you actually have to turn it on. And what that does is it will turn with the road. So I like to use this when I'm driving like through the mountain curvy roads. I kind of hate driving on that kind of curvy road. It's kind of scary, but this Autopilot does an absolute amazing job just curving with the road and just taking you to your destination with ease and being very safe. Absolutely love that. So turn it on. And it's beta because it's not 100%. On the right side, there's no marking. So then this car is going to try to go straight in, gets confused, and it automatically disengages, and I have to grab the steering wheel to turn left. And not all roads are marked, so you definitely have to be cautious and always be alert and vigilant on the road. You can turn on full self-driving visualization preview, and what that does is on the graph on the left screen, you're going to be able to see stop signs, hazard cones, street lights. It's just for strictly visualization purpose to make it look nice. It's really for, as you can see, for full self-driving, then it'll detect everything so that way it knows exactly how to drive by itself. But for Autopilot, those things aren't really a matter. It won't really affect your Autopilot because obviously it's not going to stop when the light turns red, even though it knows that the light is red. And that's when you pay the extra for the enhanced Autopilot, which can unlock some of those cool features. So you could just leave it on for your visual purpose, just because it looks cool, or just turn it off. It doesn't really matter. That's totally up to you. All right, so to set speed, how fast do you want to go when you are in autopilot? So you can pick current speed, meaning that if you're driving 65 miles an hour and you engage your autopilot by clicking the pedal down twice, then you are going to be going at 65 miles an hour. I like to have it on speed limit. And there's two ways of setting your speed limit. In the offset section, you could make it fixed, where you can go plus 10 miles per hour, the speed limit. If you have it fixed at 0 miles per hour, that means that if the road is 65 miles an hour, which Tesla does an amazing job detecting how fast you should be going on that road, on that freeway, then it's going to go fast as the speed limit allowed on that road. You can change it to go faster, like for example 10 miles per hour faster. So when you engage the autopilot and you're supposed to be going 65 miles an hour, this will make your autopilot go up to 75 miles per hour. The smartest way is to do it in percentage wise. In percentage wise, you could set it to, for example, 20% faster, right? And the reason why a percentage is smarter and safer is that if you are on freeway and you make it fixed to go 15 miles faster, then 65 miles an hour freeway, you go 80 miles an hour. Okay, maybe a lot of cars are driving 80 miles an hour on that freeway because it's open, it's safe, it's dry, everyone is driving that speed. That kind of makes sense. But if you are driving in a neighborhood and their speed limit is 25 miles an hour and you're trying to engage the autopilot, then 15 miles above 25, which is 40 miles an hour, is way too fast to be in a neighborhood. But at a percentage, it's a lot safer. So you're going to be driving less than 15%, and just according to the percentage of your speed. So faster you're going, the more miles per hour you're going to get with autopilot, but the slower areas you're going to be able to engage a lot slower autopilot speed. So percentage is the safest way of doing it. All right, so next setting is automatic blind spot camera. When you click right to turn right or left, the camera on the sides will turn on and you get to see the little screen to show your blind spots, to see if there's a car so that you can safely move to the right and left. Next option is blind spot collision warning chime, which is another way of saving your butt when you're switching lanes. So when you, obviously, just like it says, if you're about to make a right and someone is at your blind spot, then the car's gonna alert you, letting you know that, hey, be careful, there's somebody there, don't even think about it. So that's really cool to have. So it's got so many methods of keeping you safe on the road. That's what I love about Tesla. Okay, so speed limit warning is the next one. You could have it off where it doesn't tell you about the speed limit. You could have it display. There's going to be a miles per hour sign that comes up that kind of grows as you are going past your miles per hour. Or you could have it chime. It'll just chime every time you go beyond that speed limit. Anyways, let's say that you do have it on display. The next option is speed limit. So if you have the speed limit warning on and you want it to be displayed, you could keep it relative. 0, meaning that at a 60 miles per hour freeway, if you're going 66 miles per hour, you're gonna get that warning. But you could offset it to where, you know what, I want the warning when I'm 10 miles above the speed limit. So if you're at 65 miles per hour freeway and you go 75 miles per hour, then it's gonna give you that warning. Absolute is kind of interesting. Let's say you put it at 50 miles per hour. No matter where you're at, regardless of the speed limit, if you're going 51 miles per hour, it's gonna give you that warning. I'm not exactly sure when you will be using this, but my guess is that when you're living around small, neighborhood type, and everybody should be driving 25 miles per hour around that town, then maybe that's very important. Maybe you want a warning at 25 miles per hour or maybe 30 miles per hour that, hey, you're going way too fast, so please slow down. So maybe it's in that kind of situation. But if it definitely helps you out, then definitely use that. All right, so the next few more options to go real quick. For collision warning, I have it on medium. That's by default. I absolutely love this. This has saved me so many times because there's a camera right in front of you on top of the rear view mirror that keeps an eye of your eye. It keeps an eye of your eye. So that means that if you have your eyes not on the road, if you're kind of like looking down at your monitor, or you can looking left or right or whatever, and you're not paying attention to the road, and a car in front of you comes to a stop, then it's going to give you an alert. Beep, beep, beep. It's going to give you an alert to let you know you got to slow down. And that saved me so many times, because with that alert, I instantly, by reaction, just come to a stop and I'm safe. The next option is lane departure avoidance. So this is kind of cool. If you're driving and you are off the road and you're just running on the line on the sides of the road, then it's going to give you a chime like, hey, get your butt back on the road. What are you doing? Automatic emergency braking. I have that. So when a car in front of you comes to a brake, and first it'll give you a warning, so then you could physically slow down, stop. But if you really don't see it and you aren't reacting fast enough, then this car will just stop. How cool is that? Anyways, I've never had a car that did that before in my life. That's so amazing. So there are situations that autopilot would not work. Like I'm on the main road and it doesn't have any markings on this street. It's a new street, so they don't have lines, and autopilot seems to work best when there's proper lines marked on the road. That's what it normally reads. So then, as you can see on the screen, it doesn't have any lines. It's got a light gray one. It doesn't have any lines. So when I double click on it, let's see what happens. See, it kind of freaks out. It's autopilot is not available right now on this road. So autopilot does not turn left or right for you. That is full self-driving FSD, and that's $12,000 or a monthly subscription. I'm on my main road, and you can actually use this autopilot if you are behind somebody. So I'm going to go behind somebody right now, left. And the reason being is because autopilot will slow down and stop if the car in front of you slows down and stops. And if the car in front of you takes off, the car will take off. So that's perfect for freeways, right? Because if there's a lot of traffic that happens, then your car will just adjust the speed accordingly. Double click to engage autopilot, and it will tell you to keep your hands on the steering wheel. Personally, I don't like to hold it on the top, because you're on autopilot because you want to relax, right? Otherwise you should just drive yourself. So the best positioning for me is I like to hold the bottom part of the handle and just hold it with my fingertips and just put my arm weight onto it, just kind of like let it relax. And the only muscle that you're putting on there is really just your fingers, just kind of holding onto the steering wheel, but the rest of my arm is just relaxed. And that weight will give Tesla enough pressure to let it know that your hands are on the steering wheel at all times. The car is automatically speeding ahead, and you can push the acceleration pedal to kind of give it an extra boost, because sometimes it doesn't go fast enough to my liking, right? And if there's a lot of traffic, and you know how it is, if you feel like the car in front of you is going way too slow and there's a big gap from that car to the next car in front of it, then you feel a little bit like, hey, come on, man, let's hurry up. Let's go. Everyone has that rush feeling, and of course you see cars just zipping through, cutting everybody. Oh, I hate those kinds of drivers. Anyways, that's besides the point. So you can give it a push with the acceleration pedal without disengaging your autopilot. 3 ways to disengage autopilot. One of them is to turn left and right. If you need to, like, let's say avoid somebody, you do a hard turn, then it disengages. So let's turn that back on. Another way to disengage is hit your brakes and it disengages. But the proper way to disengage is to actually click up once, and that will disengage autopilot. So that is the proper way of disengaging. So your Tesla also has cruise control. Instead of, let me get out of the autopilot, instead of double tapping down, you just tap down once, and then it turns on cruise control. The proper way to switch lanes is you click right, it disengages your autopilot, but still keeps your cruise control on. So my feet is still not on the acceleration pedal. It's not on it. I will make the turn, make sure everything's safe. You got the screen, you can look right, you got the mirrors, and then once I make it, then I could double click again to engage autopilot. So that's how quick it is. Oh, this car is coming in, huh? Oh, you see that? So there's cars that's merging in. I'm still not 100% confident with autopilot yet, but it did a good job knowing that cars were coming in and it slowed down on its own, and now it's gonna accelerate and try to keep up with the car in front of me. So once again, if it's not going fast enough, I just hit the acceleration pedal and just kind of give it an extra push so that you're not so far from the car in front of you. To increase or decrease your speed, all you do is just dial down. You can see the miles per hour kind of going down, right? And then if you want to speed up, then you just scroll up, right? It goes up 1 miles per hour at a time, but if you spin it fast, it will go up 5 miles at a time. Kind of fun, like a video game. It really does feel like a video game. If you click left or right, it will allow you to keep certain distance from the car in front of you. Right now I have it set to 4 car length distance from the car that's in front of you. Obviously the rule from remembering from taking that test a long time ago is that every 10 miles you want 1 car distance away from that person. So if you need to hit the brakes, then you could safely do so if something was to happen, right? You don't want to be tailing somebody right behind it, which I don't know why there's so many people that still does that. That's so crazy, right? There's still crazy drivers out there that just sticks on your butt. And it's just like, the road rage, get off my butt. Anyways, as I've grown older, my road rage has decreased dramatically. I remember being young and just, it makes you so mad. And I think it makes you mad because it's messing with your life. You could die. So if anytime something happens where you could mess with your life, then of course you just get super mad, and there's constant news about people doing crazy things on the freeway. Oh my God, but everybody needs to learn to relax. It took me a lifetime to learn that, but now I definitely don't get road rages anymore. So waste of negative energy. So breathe in and breathe out and just drive. Final checklist, it's you have to make sure that the freeway and the road that you're on has proper markings. If you see any kind of construction that's happening ahead, or if you notice that maybe the markings are not properly marked, then don't use autopilot. Always keep attention to the road. Don't be sleeping, don't be paying, just doing something else. Even though it does a great job driving on its own for the most part, you definitely have to be safe. You can't rely on electronics to fully take care of you like that. That's insane. It's crazy when I see people online just dozing off and doing their own thing and thinking that their Tesla will be, take care of them 100%. As amazing as Tesla is, and as amazing as Tesla has saved many people's lives, it's still an electronic, and something random could happen every once in a while. All right, guys, if you watched this all the way through, thank you so much. I appreciate you big time. It's been an adventure. I love Tesla. I love Elon Musk's journey. It feels so good to be part of, even just a small fraction, to be part of Elon Musk and the mission that he has to save the world and make it a better place and take us to Mars and underground tunnels and all this cool stuff, man. What a dude. Such a fanboy. One day I'm gonna meet you, Elon Musk. I'm gonna make so much YouTube Tesla videos that you would have to say, I need to meet this guy. He's been helping me out a lot. Not that he needs any help. Anyways, guys, if you watched it all the way through, I appreciate you big times. Thank you so much for your support. If you haven't yet, hit the like and the subscribe button and leave me a comment of any kind. I would love to just say hello. And yeah, I'll see you next time.